Hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We are back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about the case and what happened in that case. Yeah.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Now we are here. You know, just listening, you know, you could miss something, but writing and be part of this case by maybe taking down some of this you actually feel even worse.
Yeah.
So, just a highlight for me. Gininda is saying the DNA, he's repeating that. He's not even repeating. They said it last time. We talked about the region, dodged the question. Now he's saying what the judge said.
Which is?
The expert did not exclude or include the DNA, which leaves them inconclusive. He's using that in his long explanation and defense in trying to deflect from the statement of Mr. Hlophe. He is talking about how Mr. Hlophe's theory or whatever that suggestion that he had was unfortunately contrary to what happened. There are people that saw the perpetrators going in and running out of the house, and also the DNA, the foreign DNA in the house, all that thing of sub-Sahara DNA being sort of common to us, people who are in this side. Now it's no longer taking, according to Gininda, is that those people, that thing is actually affirming that they were in the house. And I sat down and I was thinking, then how does the judge make the judgment? He says what Gininda is saying.
He's the one who started it.
Yeah, in any case. So he's going to say this. So when it goes to appeal, those people, what are they going to read? They're going to read that and take that and say, yeah, the judge was correct. While the experts is clearly had, even explaining why there might be regions that are seemingly reading these accused. You know? And Gininda is saying, no, that's a proof that these people were inside the house. So, okay, let's say this case, as it is all seems done and dusted in this court. Let's say it goes further. How is the judge again now going to justify that ruling? That, okay, I ruled on the basis that some regions, as much as the experts said they are excluded, I said they're included or excluded. I said they are not excluded, they are not included, according to me, inconclusive. Then I ruled that because of some regions that were read, that were explained further as to what could be the cause of these regions. To read this piece, some of Mapisa basically, it's Mapisa, right?
Yes.
And well and good, you wrote the whole judgment. What are you going to tell other people when they ask you? That's my question. And I was worried. And that's when I realized that these people didn't have anything other than the exhibit JJ and HH.
No.
Because he used that to support. That's the only thing. And then when he's asked about exhibit JJ, the being the only thing, then he shifts to Gininda, to Gwabini, and he's been doing that since the cross-examination.
That's the only thing he has.
So basically it was, you know, the funny thing though, I see it all. You are told by the family members to go and investigate. You know what you do? You go and ask. You go and ask Utumel.
With nothing.
Do you deny or do you accept this? Tumelo says, no, I deny it, and then it becomes the truth of the day.
Oh God.
And then you're like, yeah, okay. But you didn't take that from Bondance.
No.
That's very funny to me.
Funny thing.
Yes, you didn't take that from Bontans. You took whatever you wanted to take. You could see they are lying. There are a lot of things. But Kutumelo you took one thing. Tumelo said no.
There expecting Tumelo to align with whatever he wanted him to align with, instead of actually a something like a proper policeman would do and say, here's what I'm confronting.
Yes.
Here's a phone call.
Mr. Lopez even saying that. He's even saying that there is a change of a lifestyle that is now we see Utume.
We also Facebook.
You don't do lifestyle audit. You leave it like that.
We saw Facebook.
You just go and ask Utumelo nje kuphela. You wait for that answer and then you are done. It was refuted.
That's it.
It's done. You never did an investigation. Anyone can go.
This is what he said, and you believed him.
Hey, anyone can go and ask Tumelo the same question. And if he's paid, as they are insinuating the families, he's not going to answer it the way you expect him to answer. You were supposed to come with bank statements and say, here are bank statements. You are a person who's hired temporarily and you are earning this much. Where are you getting this money if there was money? You know? And worst of all, to top it all, Mr. Shopper says I submitted all my cell phone numbers for them to go check and see if we were talking to these people. Where is that section 205? And by the way, where is Dumelo section 205 since all the cell phones were taken?
Confiscated by the
Where
police.
is Dumelo section 205?
I do not camera. Sitting on it. Allegedly. But then it's there.
How do you know it's there?
It must be there because the police took his phone and they did the same thing they did with Kelly's phone and Longo's phone. Zandi's phone even has a section 205 as well. How come Tumelo's phone doesn't have a section 205? Ikai, where is it?
It's scary how this investigation is selective. You know, other people are believed by saying, yeah, I did not call. That's it. You don't go with section 205 and say, here's the call. What were you saying here?
What did you say?
What were you saying here? You don't go with that. No. You go with a question.
But the spin is also very interesting because they're saying Tumelo never denied making the phone call. However, he denies the conversation that took place in the phone call to say that he said that he is the one.
So what did you call them about?
Who said?
What questions did you ask this man? Did you say, okay, to me, you're saying you don't deny. What did you call them about? You know, you are investigating. You are investigating. You say you are investigating. You don't go around asking people, do you deny or accept? Okay, sharp, bye-bye. Please make sure that you come and testify on behalf of the states. Thank you.
And to me, it's not even giving me peace, the fact that now statements are now written again in 2018 that attempt to debunk some of the things that were said in statements that were done in 2014.
Exactly.
It doesn't give me peace about Tumelo as a witness.
Exactly. But unfortunately, it is what it is. We are still going to live with this thing forever. But the truth of the matter is that we can almost see towards the end of the tunnel. It might not be the same court, but I can almost be certain that if it goes further, there will be people who would look to analyze all this information.
So, what if, and I'm only just speculating, what if the bet is that the accused will never appeal?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would have run out of legal aid funds to make an appeal. Maybe, I don't know, but
or maybe the legal aid fund does not fund the
appeal process. I don't know. I haven't looked into it with full research to understand what is going on. But what if the best bet and why this court is running like this is because they know they're not going to be able to appeal? It's a question I have.
Yeah, that's be very interesting, and that's something that we need maybe perhaps to do on our side to actually see all these loopholes and do our own research.
A lot is at stake with this case. We're also forgetting about Mbata. The fact that he's waiting for the conclusion of this case before he can also sue the state properly.
Yes.
So a lot is relying on this case for it to go how whoever is that powerful to have influence over it wants it to go.
I'm also puzzled by the defense also in terms of not perhaps challenging this DNA issue enough. We are remembering from our head that at some point this guy expert has to explain why there might be some regions that are reading.
Why are they not putting it to Gininda, please?
And Mona, they are just leaving it. They are just leaving it as saying there was an exclusive, they were included. And Gininda keep on saying, I don't know that, my lord. This is what I heard. You know?
Mr. Gininda, do you understand DNA evidence and its interpretation or not? As yes, I do. Did you study DNA in your career? No, I don't. Or whatever he answers. But you're supposed to hammer on it because this thing of his, he's repeating it over and over again.
Not only that, also what pisses me is these last objections when Balu was objecting in terms of triple hearsays, whatever that he was. Isn't the evidence of Absalom a triple hearsay from his son?
It is.
Up to him being a hearsay, but it's and there in the court.
The IO is using it in court. Every time we're asking him a question, he's referring to it.
Now, I don't understand where the defense is getting a hiccup, because when they object, also they must have, Chief, right now we're in court because of Absalom's hearsay.
Triple hearsay, by the way.
From the people that we don't even know that you will ever call in this court. But the statement is here. Yet I'm being prohibited to read part of Fiso's statement.
A little bit of homework that needs to be done is to look into that Chabalala case and find out what exactly happened with it. Understand what is happening with that Chabalala case and then come back and resubmit this Absalom Zungu statement because they don't want it.
Isn't the Chabalala case basing its arguments on the diary issue?
It is.
Yeah, but it's not talking about the triple hearsay, isn't it?
Oh.
It's a different case, that one.
It's a different case, that one. Sorry, yes. My apologies, I got confused. But then that statement needs to be admitted. It has to be admitted, that one.
Which one?
The one of Flop.
Yeah, it is admitted. It was admitted, most. Provisionally
so
admitted.
The one of Absalom Zung is the one that was not.
Who said
There's a statement that the judge said he's not gonna. A diary entry, or is the diary entry of Brigadier Gininda, where he's supposed to prove that he did make notes on what Mr. Hlope had said.
And that's when Shabalala protected.
Shabalala then came in and said, no, the diary entries are not supposed to be disclosed. Which diary entries?
The question is, I like what
to personal information or diary entries pertaining to the work.
No, he was talking about the police. The work. What I liked how Mshololo was approaching this to say that this is an answer that was invited. That invited me to this because. Yes. There's an answer that is given that this court has to rely on without verifying,
Yes.
on the basis that this thing is on the diary. But what he left out there
What?
is that Gininda at some point made an assertion that there could be a statement. He also should have relied on that to say that it's not only the diary that we are looking for, also the statement that he said might be there.
Bring it up tomorrow, Advocate Shorara, please.
You know, I think there were two things that were said there, but now they are relying more to that diary issue. And now, which makes me wonder, isn't Shabalala contradicting Rob versus Hepworth in a sense that you give an answer that suits you, but you don't want to be investigated on the basis that your answer is in a diary. So you can literally hide everything in that diary because some 8 or however many judges from Bloemfontein, they felt that evidence of such should not be divulged. It worries me most of the time when I hear these objections, and I ask myself, then where is Rob versus which one supersedes the other one? That's the question. Which one supersedes the other one? Because this one is saying, I'm able to hide things on the diary because the diary is protected by law. And then Rob saying, and then you go and give an answer that suits you to say that this is the case. You put a certain narrative. That narrative cannot be tested. We should only rely on your answer, same as we do with Dumel.
And then since they are refusing with the diary entry, then it's only fair that Mshololo put it to Gininda that you did not collect such a statement, nor did you have such a diary entry. Put it. I can see there's no way that she can prove that the diary entry did say what he said.
It's his personal diary, because the other diaries of courts, they were pocket books and whatnot. It's his personal. Why is he writing on his personal diary?
Why exactly?
Why is he writing work on a personal diary?
Please, you must hammer on that. You must just ask him and just verify him, just for the sake of, because why is he hiding? What are they hiding? Like, what is the big deal with one entry? She's not asking for the entire diary. She just wants that particular entry.
Yes, the statement of Hlope, it does contain hearsay evidence, triple or whatever that you might think of. But there is a portion where he is only him talking about. It can actually make a new statement where he talks about his encounter with Dumel. And he comes with it in that court. Yeah. To avoid this thing of
triple hearsay.
The one that he was now relaying, which is the history of what happened. But he can confine his evidence on what he heard when that call took place happened,
and what he witnessed from Dumelo's behavior after the night.
That also is not a hearsay.
It's not a hearsay. It's what he saw. If they saw Dumelo having lots of money, then he needs to put it in the statement that we did see a change in his lifestyle. I saw the change in the lifestyle.
But the issue of cause, I think, it's sort of. Unfortunately, they didn't have expertise to advise them on the basis of now it is being used there. But to my surprise, that the absolute state, that's why these statements, Baloyi left them like this, hanging. He left them hanging. The absolute one, he's saying someone brought it.
It's not even admitted in court. So even for the appeal process, how are the judges supposed to work with evidence of a statement that's not even admitted? How does that work?
I don't know. But it doesn't appear then on record. But yet, there is a bit of reference to that statement. So therefore, it should be made available when you go to appeal.
Hi, kushushu. It's getting real. It's Getting really serious now. Brigadier Bongani Gininda returned to the state for further cross-examination by Advocate Mshololo. And she started off by asking him, in your engagement with Zungu in 2019, did he say that he saw Nkani give Gwabini a 9mm? And Gininda said no. He first came to the commissioner saying he had information. The name of the father then came up. The information he brought in so far as his father was concerned. And then Mshololo asked him, so he never mentioned to you when you first met that he saw Nkani give Gwabini a firearm? And Gininda said no, it was insofar as his father told him. So Mshololo then asked him, in all of your engagements with Constable Zungu, you did not take down any statement from him. Gininda said, which part? Because if you look at the statement Advocate Mshololo referred me to, it was taken by me. Then Mshololo asked him, I mean, before the date of the statement, you started communicating with this witness from 2019. From that time, did you take any statement? Gininda said that he did not say no because he did not see the relevance. He was telling him about his father and it was hearsay. So
when his father came, it was not hearsay.
It was not hearsay.
Because the father also was not there.
It's not there as well. So he picks and chooses which hearsay evidence he collects and believes. Then Mshololo then said, what led you to only obtain the statement on the 31st of May from Constable Zungu? Gininda said that it was when he decided to willingly and freely give a statement. As I indicated through the investigation, his name came up. I was not aware that he was at Basutung Hostel, but as we were investigating, I obtained a statement from Gwabini. Amakosi, or his name was being mentioned that he was there. Makosonke, I think. Makosonke, or his name was being mentioned that he was there. Then I started engaging him in that regard, and then he said that he'd come and see me. But it was clear that he was scared. But eventually he said, I was afraid, and I will tell you the truth. That's what gave rise to the statement that I was obtained. And my question now becomes, where was Gwabeni when all of these revelations were going on and happening? Where was he? If you're going to base Zungu coming clean the second time around off of Gwabeni's statement, then in the midst of it all, where was Gwabeni? So Mshololo then asked him, I want to put it to you that the reason why you did not obtain the statement regarding the occurrence or the circumstances under which the offense was committed in this case, as it has been testified or narrated by Constable Zungu, that information was so crucial. You were supposed to obtain a statement immediately when you received that information. And the reason why you did not take that statement is because Constable Zungu never gave you that information before the 19th of May, 2023. And I happen to believe this more. I happen to believe it because first and foremost, we were told that prior to that type statement that was done on the 19th of May 2023, as the trial was ongoing, guys, as the trial had started, and I don't mean before de novo, I mean after de novo. After de novo, Zungu gives a testimony that is tight. And then he tells us that no, the original one, he left it in KZN. And then it's not found. And then he says it's no longer an original statement. It was notes. He says they were shredded in Gininda's office. Gininda saying no, he left with them. So I happen to believe this as well. This version, this whole version, it came to be in 2023. There's no way it was there from 2019. No way. If it was there, they would have shared it a long time ago. Then Gininda said, I'm not sure what statements I would have taken from Zungu then, because it was clear that he came to the office of the commissioner in relation to his father. He said that he did mention that he took a statement from him after his name came up during the investigation. Okay. Yeah, the audio, guys, it was bad, but I made a plan. Okay. I made a plan. So Advocate Mshololo then went to the evidence of Constable Zungu, wherein Brigadier Gininda read the statement of Constable Zungu dated the 31st of May 2023. the trial was already underway, guys. After the novo, after Judge Ratamokwatleng had come, after the drama of Miss Popola writing a letter saying she prefers a retired judge, and we were blessed with the presence of Judge Ratamokwatleng coming out of retirement for this case. After all of that,
yes,
Zungu writes a statement. And we are not supposed to find that suspicious.
After all of that.
After all of that drama.
After the first case was right underway, and we were told about 102 million witnesses that are coming. Guys, on the like side, you might have forgotten, maybe it's boiling, but yeah, please remember to press that like button.
We are all
and we still welcome members. We do, and we welcome new subscribers. We do. So
yes.
Let's give you time to press that like button. It's a long way. We might not finish if you also not press faster so that we finish. And then you're going to be complaining about us not giving you time to call.
Because we have to pause every now and again, guys, and ask you to press the like button. Please press the like button, please. Don't make this excruciatingly painful and long. Even for me, I would like to hurry up and finish.
Yes.
Please. I would like to hurry up and finish so that you have your time and I get to listen to you for a change.
Yes.
Well, Mshololo asked him to read paragraph 5, where Zungu said that Gwabini said it was not the firearm that shot Snako, but it was Nkani's firearm. He said he then returned the firearm and asked Gwabini to give him his. This is Zungu now. And he goes on to talk about how he was concerned that his firearm may have been used to kill people as he knows they are hitmen. He said that he then took...
Why are you chilling with hitmen who have guns, Zungu? Well, objection, my lord, prejudice. But why are you sitting with hitmen who have guns that you definitely know they are illegal guns? Why?
Why? And he's even living.
And we are even freely giving your gun to one of them, as you are suggesting.
Why?
To keep it. And you come to court and testify, and you say, we must believe what you're saying. And
they're saying he's a credible witness.
You are a cornerstone of this whole ruckus that is happening here.
The quality of investigation is saying dodgy cops like this are credible witnesses. Like why? Why on earth would you do that? Give you away your firearm to people? Allegedly. Alleged dodgy cops. Allegedly.
Don't let your feelings get over you. Yes.
Guys, I'm going through it. Well, he said that he then took his firearm and strapped it on his body. Gwabini then asked him to excuse them as they wanted to discuss something. He took his bag and exited the bedroom, and then he saw Mafika change his hoodie. He asked Mafika to give him a hoodie as it looked like he had a lot of them. So Mshololo asked him that her question is, after receiving this information, especially the reference to the exchange of firearms by the people who are referred to here in front of a police officer or Constable Zungu, did you ask Constable Zungu if he reported this incident to the police because he had witnessed the unlawful activity at the time when he was at Basotho Hostel? He saw the suspects exchanging firearms and he was a police officer at that time. Did you ask him if he reported this matter to the police? Gininda said yes, they did, and the matter was also discussed with the state. The view was that they will deal with this matter once the trial is finalized. When the statement was given, the matter was already on trial. So this already, I don't know. Does it mean that Zungu might go to jail depending on how the outcome of this trial goes? If the accused go down,
look,
is he going to jail?
Who are sitting outside, my advice to them would be one. I have one advice for them. Those who have been mentioned, but they never made it because of one or two reasons. My advice is that you still have a chance to salvage whatever that you have through the defense. And I'm saying this because in my thinking, what follows after that, the so-called follow-up, it might be a punishment of the resisting. If you resist, we might be sitting here and talking about your case. You know, I'm just saying, that's my thinking, and I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I have a strong feeling that whoever so decided to say, I'm abandoning the mission, you don't know what's coming. And if you are not seeing it with the likes of, in my opinion, of the Kellys, then you haven't seen anything.
Well, two fates here that I'm hearing are waiting. So if the accused do go down, Uzungu at the end, there's a case waiting for him.
I don't think so. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. You would like to have that
No,
way.
not that I would like to have it that way, but it would be something that maybe is dangling.
What makes you think that it won't be a Kelly situation?
How
No
so?
evidence that suggests such.
But how can there not be evidence that suggests that if people are convicted over what he was saying, over his statement?
Yeah, but do you know if that gun is illegal?
Which one?
I mean, you're a cop, that you knock off. It's not like you participated in any of the heinous things.
But he saw them.
What did he see?
And he did not report.
What did he see? He saw them exchanging guns.
Yes.
They had guns, yes. Maybe they were legal, my lord. I don't know. I mean, I was
but
off
he's not
duty.
saying that they were illegal.
Did he say they were illegal?
He's not saying that they were legal.
Did he say they were illegal?
No, he's not saying that either.
Thank you. So we have two scenarios that now we have created yourself that has not come out of this man's mouth. How then do you arrest this man?
What do you mean, how do I arrest?
I'm saying.
So it's okay for police officers to be in the presence of...
That's your feeling right now as you are sitting in the studio. I'm saying to you, in court, what we have realized is what the NPA writes down. That's what takes you to jail. It's not what you think the police should do, which is right. And I agree with you. The police should always, by all means, off duty, on duty, should always hold the oath high and do the right thing all the time. That's their job. But well, in court, is what the NPA says that matters. If you haven't learned that, then you're out of tune.
So, hypothetically speaking, what happens if the accused are found not guilty? I'm just hypothesizing. I know it might not, it's not going to happen.
If the accused are found not guilty?
With Zungu, does he...
If they are not found guilty?
With perjury?
If they are not found guilty? Nothing happens.
Nothing happens still.
Pella, we go to 375 by fire by force.
Nothing happens to Zungu in matters of perjury?
Nothing is going to happen because Zungu is not even part of maybe 375. Oh man, I'm lying. Then 375, so far, it does not include Zungu lying. But they might find a way of bringing it. But this was 636 they were working on.
Yes.
Yeah, they might find a way of bringing him. Yes. They might say he lied. If the other theory comes out, then you're going to have to...
You have to imagine a scenario where everyone is trying to save themselves. That situation where everybody is like, I am not going to lose my job.
Yes.
You understand what
Yes,
I'm
then
saying?
Zungu becomes a part of the gang that should go down. You're right.
Well, Mshololo asked, I meant to ask the reliability of his evidence as a police officer. Did you ask him to say that at the time in 2018 when you witnessed people exchanging firearms unlawfully?
Wait. I'm just thinking, I'm playing scenarios in my head. What happened to Kelly's mother for pointing the wrong person?
Nothing happened to her.
Okay. He went with a lawyer next time.
She went the next time she was with police, or she was called by the investigating officer, she went with a lawyer and nothing happened to her.
Yeah. So, no. Well, but now one can argue that this would be different investigators, different ball game. I assume different prosecutor, probably different judge, hopefully. Very fresh, new, young, energetic, preferably no color.
Preferably of no color.
Yeah. Now we are talking.
But ever since I have followed this case, I'm seeing that. Let me rather not say it.
Yeah, continue reading this.
No, I'm not gonna say it. Gininda said that he did not open a case. Okay, he said they didn't proceed with this because the trial had already started. So he's saying that they could not investigate him while the trial is ongoing.
Investigate Zungu.
Yeah. And his claims of what he saw.
Hey.
So he forged ahead without investigating whether his witness was telling the truth or not. This is so interesting. He's just believed him and he continued. So Mshalolo then said, when you asked Constable Zungu about this incident, about the failure to report this incident to the police station, what did he say? And Gininda said that it's the answer he just gave, that he never opened a case. And then Mshalolo asked him, did he give a reason? And Gininda said that he said he was scared. And that's the reason why he did not come forth with this information. Gininda said that the reason that he gave was that he was scared. So accused number 5, Mshalolo said, will come and tell the court that Zungu was never scared of reporting this unlawful activity. It's because Nkani never exchanged any firearm with Gwabini. It never happened. It's why he never even reported it to the police. Then Gininda said the statement is clear that he viewed them as hitmen, so how could he not be scared? The problem here is that Gininda is
How can he be scared when he drinks with them? Do you go to the what is it, to inside the zoo where there are lions and you say, okay, I was eating with them, or now that we have to face them again, I'm afraid? You drink with people who you are afraid of. They call you from Joburg, you drive the state's car, you go put the gun in you even don't carry your gun to show that you are not afraid. You give it away. You
leave yourself open and vulnerable under these people that you claim you are scared of.
And then now when they want to kill you, even the families, as you allege that the families wanted to kill you, you still went and fetched your gun. You came back to confront them. Now you are no longer afraid of them, to confront them. Yes. But yet, you say you saw someone, Makosonke, someone like that.
Yes, Makosonke.
And you don't go and report again.
You don't report again.
You're still afraid. But the people that you claim you're afraid of, they are inside. Now, what are you afraid of not reporting the second incident? Or even if there was a first incident at all, there was nothing like that. So now, what are you afraid of? Young boys.
Well, the problem here with Gininda saying that the statement is clear, that he viewed them as hitmen, and so how could he not be scared? The problem here is that Gininda is speaking on behalf of Zungu as if Zungu is a civilian and not a police officer.
Exactly.
One would say that here it sounds like you are protecting him instead of
it has been like that, Emily, for as far as I remember. Gininda in that court, in my opinion, he has been bashing people that are disagreeing with his theory.
Yes.
He has been protecting those who came to testify under states.
Yes.
Except for those who turned on the states, like the likes of Mjali, the one good police that came in and Butelis, the judge and Gininda, and almost everyone is not having it when it comes to that. Even Leli Kesha Lelibe Elati Wuyelo was made to look to Lulu in that court.
Yes. Yes, so he's not holding Uzungu accountable for nothing as a fellow police officer, and he's a senior over a constable. So it's very strange. It's extremely strange. Mshololo then said accused 5 will also deny that he gave a 9mm firearm to Gwabini. And Gininda said that the statement says otherwise. Mshololo then told Gininda that on Friday, she referred him to the meeting of Constable Zungu with Warrant Officer Makubo and Colonel Buthelezi. And she asked, according to you, how did the events unfold? Did you first see Constable Zungu, or Constable Zungu met firstly with Makubo and Colonel Buthelezi before meeting you? If you can recall, or should we go back to the statement? And Gininda said that if he had to look at the sequence of events, Constable Zungu would have seen him first. They met at the office of the National Commissioner then. The 12th of November 2018, after he was appointed, Makubo came into the picture. That is early 2019. And then he met with Constable Zungu. So he thinks that they met in between these dates. So Gininda said that he's the one who commissioned Constable Zungu's statement, and Mshololo even offered him an adjournment to go and read the statement, and Brigadier Gininda refused. So,
oh, yeah. Why would you want to go read something that you probably know very well? I mean, if you get me.
I caught a subsequent.
I mean, that statement has subsequent.
The term subsequent is
and Zungu does not strike
statement.
me as someone who can use subsequently.
It was subsequent was there. I was like, yo.
So, I'm not saying anything, but I mean, we always remember what we see and what we touch.
Yes.
Now and then.
Yes.
At least. And it's not far. We're not talking about something that was written in 2014.
2023.
This is 2023.
And every time he's asked a question, this is the statement he swears by. This is the statement for dear life. He's holding on to it for dear life. It's the one, and Exhibit HH and JJ. So Mshololo referred him to the statement, the part where the events unfolded on the 26th of October 2014. And Gininda said that Constable Zungu is the one who will best narrate what happened then, not when he testifies on Gwabini's statement that he commissioned. And him and Baloi slid in some law that says that if you commission a statement, then you can testify about the contents of it. Now all of a sudden that it's Zungu's statement, he's the one who must now come and speak on his statement's behalf. I'm like, I wonder the roller coaster that I go through here with this court case. I don't understand. Like everything is a wishy-washy. You understand? So Mshololo said that he was not asking him to interpret what was in the statement. She's just asking for the lines as they are. To say here, that is when he was narrating the sequence of events. And Gininda said that on Tuesday, 2014, 28th of October, I saw an article. This is Zungu. He was reading Zungu's statement where he said that he saw an article in one of the newspapers about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. He noticed that his sketch, or there was a sketch of one of the suspects, and this sketch fitted the description of Mafika, Bongani Ntanzi, accused number 2, and what he was wearing, a navy blue top. Did the sketch have a navy blue top?
It's black and white.
And the other suspects resembled that of Carlos Gadla Mncube. He then started to suspect the fact that on that day, they were carrying firearms and fitted the description of the suspects mentioned, and that also Mafika, Bongani Ntanzi, was wearing a black or blue top. He then heard on the news that one of the suspects was arrested, and he withdrew his suspicion and he did not do any follow-up. He said he later heard in the media that the suspect was arrested was actually not the correct suspect. He then had an interest to know who was the arrested guy, and then he saw his photo on social media platform. He then realized that the suspect that was arrested was not the correct suspect, as he did not see him. It was supposed to be Carlos Mapisa Ntogoziseni Mafika on the 26th of October 2014. That's his version.
Yo, you know, Senzo, we're gonna talk about that case long, but I'll be surprised if you buy to that circus. I'll be very surprised that if you did buy everything that went into that court. I know the shouting and all that might be very convincing, and I'm not convinced. In all honesty, I'm not convinced by that. To me, it looks like a sketch that went very well, and I think most people bought it. And I watched it. I was like, wow. So, have you ever had a police that would say, I'm arresting someone and someone is released? They don't know what condition of a bail should they break, then should they call these people back and be arrested? They don't know that. And talking about, this is what, Randburg High Court?
Yes, it's a Randburg
Magistrate Court. And I can't.
But
we will talk about it. Let's continue.
We'll have to talk about it. I saw it and I was like, I can't.
Like, you know what? One thing that these courts have taught me about these cases as they are running, more so especially the ones that are touching the people that are touched in this case. When, for example, if a statement is left there and then you read it on record, like the issue of Ramsey, it was there. You touched it. It's like they put traps on you. So they always know. It's like if you come to me and then I fix your car and then you come to me again, you don't pay me, I fix your car in a manner that I know in 2 weeks is going to be broken. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about these cases. Like, I know what is going to break. If I don't maybe put an oil there and there, I know that you probably have a couple of weeks to drive that car, and then from there you're going to be coming back here. Haven't you had someone like that fixing your stuff?
I have.
Where they fix it and leave it there, just hanging there.
I have.
When you're excited and busy, and then somehow it dies, and you come back to them.
Which is why I don't believe in fixing phones anymore. I have been dribbled a lot.
So if these are people of law, they know. They know.
You know their craft.
You know, man. You know. Okay, if I say this as an IO, then this person is off the hook. But it's fine. We are just speaking. It's an allegation. We are just speaking and discussing. But we will discuss that thing. Let's continue.
Mshololo then asked him, in your part of the investigation, did you come across this article that is referred to here? The one where Zungu said that he saw two identikits on the paper and said that was Mafika and Carlos. Gininda said that there are a lot of articles from 2014, but the one he's referring to specifically, he doesn't know it. He didn't cover it in his info notes. Gininda read where Zungu said he got a hold of the cell phone numbers of General Leshabani, who was the head of the detectives in Gauteng. He said he called him and informed him that he had information on the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and he said we should meet at Tembisa police station. He arrived in a brown Mercedes-Benz SUV, and he shared with him all the above information. He said that we will do a follow-up investigation after 3 weeks. He called me to say that I gave him, he further tasked the detectives. Further following up, he informed me that he had discovered something on the suspect that is in Rustenburg, and he said that he will inform the Minister Begitele and the National Commissioner General Ketlas Tole. He then asked me about other suspects. I told him that one of the suspects stays around Tembisa and he is dealing in illicit substances. After that, he called again, asked that I assist him with information of the whereabouts of Moses Bia as well as his pictures. So Zungu came ready and he had pictures of the accused. He said, I provided the general with the requested pictures. Hey, Nina. Hella, this is snitch behavior. This one to the core. I'm sorry. So he gave him all the information of Muzi and Tanzi and how they could be found. He told him that they managed to arrest Muzi for dealing in substances, and they questioned him about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He told them that Muzi disputed the information, but implicated his uncle, who is well known to the general, known as Buhle Spintuli. He was killed a few years ago. The general was no longer the head of detectives in Gauteng, but was the cluster commander in Tembisa. A few weeks later, he was arrested, or accused number 1, for illegal substances related charges. It was then phoned by Buhle Spivantuli after his release from police custody. Buhle said he needed to urgently see Uzungu when they met at the Tembisa Plaza. And then Mshololo asked, from my understanding is that this was the first encounter of General Leshabani with Constable Zungu. Gininda said that now he must interpret and analyze what Zungu is saying, and he just didn't want to do it. Then Mshololo instructed Gininda to read where it says that the same year in 2019, he received a call from General Leshabani asking about the 9mm firearm that was given to Gwabini Bankani. And he asked, did you discuss this aspect with Gwabini? And Gininda said no. Gwabini's statement came in 2020, and this one was deposed in 2023. So even after 2023, he was unable to get a further statement from Gwabini addressing the issue of him receiving firearms. You know what I'm smelling here, Mr. Anonymous?
Mm-hmm.
I'm smelling a bit of pettiness here. You know, if I were to speculate, I would say, okay, Danzi refuses to accept the confession. Now he was being accused of being a very dangerous criminal who sells firearms and ammunition with all these confidential cases that Mukhani was talking about. Gwabini is AWOL, and in Zungu's confession, he's implicated as the one receiving firearms. So the question now becomes, if indeed he did confess, or if he did confess, and then found out in 2023 that he will be implicated as a firearms dealer, what happens then? You know,
then you disappear.
Like the way these confessions work is very strange, and I don't know what the end goal is, because at the end of the day, all of these people, all of them, including Zungu himself, we just discussed it earlier, he's also implicated. So everyone is intertwined in criminal activities.
You can almost say, you can literally say, I've got things on you guys. You know, either or. You know? Yeah. That's how it feels like. It's everyone has got some skeleton yarn. You know, it's like the politics of South Africa. Yeah. Who said every one of us has some skeleton yarn? Hey. So
I forgot her name.
Everyone has some skeleton yarn.
In the closet.
In the closet. So basically, that's how it is. So therefore, if I ask you to jump, you must ask how high, mister, and then I will tell you.
So Mshololo asked him what made you speak to Gwabini before obtaining a statement, or this statement. Gininda said that it was the first investigations. He received the call from General Leshabani to discuss. It was possibly Sunday at around 1700 hours at Captain Park. When they arrived at his office, General Leshabani informed him that indeed further investigations he gave him. The general told him that Muzi was directly involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and that the information he gave him was accurate and correct. He informed that he gave or invited General Sibia, who is from the Hawks. Zungu said he was invited to share the information with General Sibia. General Sibia is the one who gave Leshabani Warrant Officer Makubo's numbers, and Warrant Officer Makubo came and they met with him and he refuted the information and he said that Zungu was lying and there was no such information. He disputed everything Zungu shared and said that he must reveal his source. He showed them a picture of a man and then told them that he arrested him. This is Nkani. He showed them a picture of accused number 5, Nkani, and then he was asking them, and then he told them that I have actually arrested this person in KZN and he's not involved in this matter of Senzo Meyiwa. He accused Uzungu and told him straight that you've brought us false information and you must reveal whoever gave you that information. And that is how the meeting ended. Zungu said that they left with Warrant Officer Makubo, who left them at Tembisa police station, and then General Sibia and General Leshabani were the last ones to get off. So Mshololo then asked him, this one of the incidents where Constable Zungu sat and discussed with General Sibia and General Leshabani with Warrant Officer Makubo. And importantly, that is when Warrant Officer Makubo dismissed the information regarding the involvement of accused number 5 in this matter. Gininda said that he sees that, but Constable Zungu is the author of this statement. He sees what is contained, but what he does not understand is what are the basis of dismissing something before you investigate. Because the purpose of investigation...
Same question could be asked about you guys. What are the basis of dismissing Klope's assertion before you even go as further as investigating? I mean, the only thing you did is to go on the other side and say, hey, did you do this? And they said, no. Okay, sharp. Believe you. Danke. Bye.
Because the purpose of investigation is to get the truth. But you cannot come to the conclusion that someone is not involved before you even investigate. Then how did you investigate and conclude that Zungu was telling the truth? Because the person who confirmed that Zungu was solid and that he was telling the truth is Leshabani. It's not you, sir. Then how did you conclude on your own, Brigadier, that Zungu was telling the truth? What evidence was brought to you to illustrate that his version is the truth?
Because already he had obtained the exhibit HH and JJ.
So
it was in a sense collaboration of what he had there, corroborated and correlated, and then it became...
So now his job was to get exhibit HH and JJ first. This is looking more crooked with every revelation. Now that I think about it, this Zungu statement came with 2023.
The father started, remember?
But then the father's statement is not in court.
When did Absalom Zungu?
Absalom Zungu.
It's there in court.
Oh, it's there. It was admitted.
It was read.
He was not. On
by
the other hand,
Absalom
Zungu was not called to verify whether he wrote that statement or not.
No, but it doesn't need to. Because
he commissioned it.
He commissioned it and Re Ramsipiri read it on record.
Oh my God. Mjalola then said, I see the non-availability of reason that you're saying, but I wanted to confirm with you that what you see, that the first information given by Constable Zungu was rejected by Warrant Officer Makubo, who is also a state witness in this case, who is still going to come and testify. Gininda said, but what I am saying has more basis, because according to this evidence presented to him before he investigates, he then decides to dismiss it. And what I am saying is that that's not how investigations are done. And then Mshalola said in the statement, it says that in 2019, I received a call. Did you ask from Constable Zungu as to when in 2019 did he receive this call? Because we can see that on the date when he received this call, that's the date when this conversation took place between General Sibia, General Leshabani, and Warrant Officer Makubo. Gininda said that what Constable Zungu said is contained in his statement, and there's nothing else besides this that they found. So Baloyi then stood to say that the assertion that Makubo is a state witness is not true. He was the witness of the defense during the trial within a trial. This after Mshololo said that he was a state witness. So Mshololo asked Gininda to read the part where Zungu says that he was called by Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi, who asked him to meet her. They met and she asked him to repeat the information he had given to Makubo. She asked how he knows the accused and if he knew Kelly Kumalo. And he said that he told her that she does not know Kelly. He says Buthelezi then accused him and Lishabani of protecting Kelly Kumalo. She told him that she had evidence implicating Kelly and that the shooter was among those people that were in the house. Then Mshololo said, you see, this is the second time that this information is rejected. Gininda said, my lord, that is not how you dismiss information. You have to investigate first and then dismiss it. Again, this, to me, in my personal opinion, it felt like he was casting aspersions on Warrant Officer Makubo and Colonel Buthelezi.
You always do that.
Why they did not investigate? How did General Shabani investigate? If you don't mind us asking, because that whole pattern there is all a frazzle. You know, Zungu calls the office of the National Commissioner, and then he's accompanied by Leshabani, who said he believes him. He investigated Zungu's version. That's why he carried him to the National Commissioner's office, and then contacts with UM. All of that is just very, very blur. There's nothing of substance there. So most of us are curious as to how did that happen? How did you investigate Zungu's version to find out whether it was the truth or not? Then court took the tea adjournment because of those sound issues and camera issues that were going on. They asked for 30 minutes to properly set up their equipment, and after the short adjournment, Mshololo asked Gininda to read the statement where Zungu said that in the statement he went to Telkom Towers where he met Gininda, who informed him that he would follow up on the information. And he said that Lishabani later called him to inform him that Gininda was looking for him. He later met with Gininda and shared the information that he had with regards to the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He was later told not to tell Gininda about this information. Okay, it's pretty obvious in my opinion that General Lishabani is the one who connected Zungu with Brigadier Gininda according to Zungu's version. And if that was the case, how come Gininda did not investigate? How come he cannot explain how he was convinced that there were intruders choosing to believe Zungu's version more than Mr. Hlophe, more than anyone else who had anything opposite to say? I mean, you went separate ways with people that you were working within one team over believing your version that there were intruders while they were telling you that there were no intruders. So what made you believe Uzungu? Then Mshololo then said, you said you would follow up on the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, and Gininda said yes, this was in relation to accused 1 and 2, and that's when he told him that he wanted the statement from his father. Gininda read where Zungu said that on the 13th of November, he with Brigadier at the Captain Park. Now Zungu here was referring to Brigadier Gininda. On the 13th of November, they met at Captain Park, and he was in the company of Brigadier Tony. This is Brigadier Perumal, who he identified as his colleague because it was clear the officers who were doing an investigation on information he gave, he said that he was also asked to identify one of his parents or senior relatives who can confirm his relation with the suspects, as he had indicated, and he came from the same area with them. He identified them and confirmed his relationship with the suspects. Subsequent to his meeting with the 2 officers that he met, General Shabani, who asked how did the meeting go, he informed him that he decided to tell the brigadier all the information that they have about the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, despite his warning. Now he's saying here that General Shabani warned him that he should share the information with Brigadier Gininda. So he said he could see that the general was not happy with his response. Now there's further aspersions now that Lishabani might not be pleased with what perhaps Zungu might have decided to do. So this is a lot of aspersions on Zungu's statement that open up even more questions. Now that it's being read for the second time, after the information that has developed over these last months since he testified.
Yeah.
There's more questions now that are opening up. So Msholola asked him, why did you take the statement on the 13th of November 2019? And Gininda said that the sequence of events is important. This was with information that he had given about his father. His name popped up when he was obtaining statements from Sfiso Zungu, this is Gwabeni, and others. And that's when he returned to him to ask why he didn't disclose the hostile aspect.
None of those people have come to court and testify that, yes, I was there.
None of them.
There was Fisos and everyone else.
None of them. It's just Zungu.
It's like a made-up situation because, I haven't seen anyone. The statements are there, but it's like a made-up situation to bring Zungu back.
Yes. Zungu said
to make
that he
Zungu
was
a role player.
Yes.
Interestingly, I would like
he's
to
the
know
only one willing.
what is that statement of Gininda? When was it written?
Which one?
Of Gwabeni.
The one of Gwabeni. When was it written? When was it taken? That would be interesting. So the statement would have been taken from him if he gave information directly impacting the accused. It was a follow-up of the father, and on that day, on the 13th of November, a follow-up was arranged on the 17th of November, and indeed, it is him. What is paramount to this whole thing is that Constable Zungu, who came to the office of the National Commissioner on his own, not really, because he said he came with Leshaban. But then he insists to Gininda that he came on his own. So for him, there was an interest for him to see justice done because he's the one that came. No one pushed him. He came on his own. Gininda says when he first met Zungu, Zungu came on his own. Even though Zungu in his statement saying he was accompanied by General Leshaban. So the second meeting, he said they met with Brigadier Perumal. He was still cooperative. Third meeting, when he brought the father, he's the one who brought the father to the office of the National Commissioner. And then subsequently, when then his name came up, he gave reasons. He had no reason to doubt him. And then he said, look, let me tell you the truth of what I recall. Then a statement was taken.
Look, let me tell you the truth of what I recall.
After the trial had begun, 2023.
Yebo, let me tell you the truth. Guys, let's remind you, please like the video. When you see me hanging like this, it's because I'm expecting and I'm waiting for the likes. Please don't ruin this day. It is a good day. It is Tuesday in the morning. Please like the video. Like it. And so that we make it easier for the morning gang. Hey, they do a lot of damage, guys, and I'm grateful to you for the setup that you give them, handing it over to them, and then it becomes easier. So that's what I'm saying. It's 422 here, and I know others maybe are using 2 gadgets, maybe but about 10 or so. Please press that like button on both of them. Even a TV can. Yeah. Just bought myself a new TV. I just bought myself a new TV after that drama of my daughter, because I couldn't. And the worst thing is that you buy a TV, Emily, expecting to watch soccer, and because that was my rush. Then I want to watch soccer, and then all of a sudden, Barcelona drew, Orlando Pirates drew, Man City drew. You're laughing. It was very bad. I felt bad. I felt like I could have waited a bit longer to buy it. But in any case, it's okay. I'm waiting for you guys to like the video. That's why I'm telling you about my story. Please like the video. Please. I'm begging you. Right. Let's continue, man.
Yes, he said that he had no reason to doubt him. And then he said, look, let me tell you the truth of what I recall. And then the statement was taken. Speaking of this meeting with the National Commissioner with Zungu's father, didn't Zungu say that he took his father to Brigadier Gininda's Pretoria North something to get that statement?
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I don't know when is it going to be the right time to also look at the battles that were within this case. I feel like there were two people who were working parallel to each other.
Yes. I also believe that. I believe
there is a sort of a Kehlas Tole and no. There is a Kehlas Tole and there was a Peggy Ted, in my opinion.
That's how I'm thinking it in higher ups.
That's how I'm looking at it, because it is easy for this guy Gininda to just mention Kehlas Tole. I find it's frequently he's able to say at the office of so-and-so, the office of so-and-so. You know, that's why I'm saying, hey, my daughter. But it's fine.
Well, Mshololo said that she just wanted to get clarity to say that if Constable Zungu says, I gave all the information to my disposal, but that information at that stage did not include the information about accused number 5 being a suspect in this matter. And Gininda said, no, my lord, this is the danger of now trying to interpret someone's statement, because it's Constable Zungu who said this. Nowhere in my meeting did he include accused 3, 4, and 5. It was at a later stage where he brought him in. I'm indicating the chain of events, and that's what I understood up to the time when the father's statement was taken. And then now would have sprinkled in another question to say, but that statement is not there now, is it? We don't have it in our possession.
And I'm sure it's sitting in your diary.
Exactly.
I cannot open.
That I cannot have access
according to Shabalala.
I would have rubbed it in. I was like, okay, of course you can mention all of that, because we don't have a statement to that effect in this court. We're only working with the one that is typed. That's it. Then Mshololo said, besides his father, did he tell you anything about Gwabini and Makosonke? Gininda said, as I was indicated, the meeting was a follow-up about his father. He said he was able to convince his father, and that was all it was. Mshololo asked, do I understand you well to say in your meeting with Zungu, he never mentioned accused number 5 in these engagements? And Gininda said the engagements were about the father. He was bringing information he heard about his father. Then Gininda moved to another paragraph now where he read where Zungu described the threats that he was receiving while walking to a nearby spaza shop. He said that one of them was Nkazimulo, who was related to some of the accused. The name is Nkazimulo. I had forgotten it. Upon returning, Nkazimulo took out a firearm and pointed it at him. He said the firearm was a black pistol. He said he was trying to aim and shoot at him, and then he started to run away towards the direction of the shop and jumped into people's yards until he got home. He said he's
definitely a brave man. He remembers even the color, so he was looking at it straight in the face.
Yes, the black pistol.
Unlike
the people in the house that are told because they don't have firearm licenses, they can't comment on the firearms that they saw. Well,
staring in the face of death was a person
black.
It would be Zungu. You just watch it.
Brave man. So he said that he was not in possession of his service pistol. He then went back home, this brave man, and took his pistol, and then he went out to go and confront the person who was pointing him.
Only to find the party has been moved.
Only to find the vehicle was no longer there.
The party is now partying somewhere else.
Yes. Then Mshololo asked him.
And he went on to his life.
Yes.
He went on to smoke his cigarette.
Not for once did you think, I need to report this to the police. But then Brigadier Gininda later on discloses that he called him.
Oh.
He called him.
There was a call.
He called Brigadier Gininda.
And he's like, hey,
these people, they came for me.
And Gininda was like, don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah. Subsequently, I think we'll deal with that. Go to the police station And ask me if you need something.
And ask me if you need anything.
Mm-hmm.
Mshalala then said, did you ask Constable Zungu if he reported this matter to the police? Because he was able to identify the person who pointed the firearm as Nkazimulo Ntuli. Gininda said that when this incident happened on the 18th of November 2019, he did phone me. It was the day after his father gave a statement. Now, Gininda says he advised him to go open a case at a nearby police station so that the matter can be investigated. He then said, should he further challenge or come across further challenges or need further assistance, he can then advise him accordingly. He can advise me. It's Brigadier Gininda saying he can advise him, Brigadier Gininda, accordingly.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys who were sweeping the road for who was this? Bo Tumelo. No, the Bo Wontanzi would have came to aid if that call persisted, right? I mean, those are the guys who are hard at work. They can't even knock off when need be. You know, they would have came to maybe assist.
And then for me, this is weird because let me tell you what I was anticipating. I was anticipating that he was going to say, oh yes, that was a threat to his life immediately after we took him to witness protection.
You understand?
Something like that.
You know?
I was waiting for this answer for me.
Immediate. Oh,
was
yes.
Underwhelming.
Oh, yes. Here's the statement. Here is the case.
Here's the case. We opened the case and then we quickly had to put him into hiding.
Mm.
No, he says, no, I advised him accordingly. I said, go to the police station, open a case.
If
you need anything, just call me.
Mm.
Just let me know and advise me accordingly. That's it. That's it. A crucial witness of yours. His life was threatened. That's the best you could have done.
Please press that like button.
Mshalala then asked him, do you know if he eventually opened the case as per your advice? And Gininda said he doesn't know. Mshalala moved to the statement of Mlungisi Edward Hlophe, Meyiwa's brother-in-law, commissioned on the 7th of April 2015 at 1930. And at this point, I was asking myself now, did Brigadier Gininda not say that they took a statement of Mr. Hlophe in 2016 before he was the lead investigator of this case? Kanti, the statement will come on later. Mshalolo informed Gininda that this witness has not yet testified, but if the state doesn't call him, he will be called by the defense. Mshalolo asked Gininda, is it correct that this statement was made before you were appointed? And Gininda said that was correct. Did you come across this statement in your docket? Gininda said yes, it was together with the statement that was taken in his presence, which was alleged to have gone missing. There would have been two others in addition to this one. So I did receive the statement with the docket. Mshololo asked if there are more statements to the one she was referring to, and Gininda said one of the other statements, it was alleged to have been taken by him. It was taken by Warrant Officer Mabuti, or Captain Mabuti, and it was attached, but it says more or less the same thing. Mshololo asked him to check if for him during lunchtime, if that statement is there. And Mshololo asked him to read that paragraph that says that he called Tumelo Madlala just days after Meyiwa was killed to find out what happened at the crime scene. Madlala informed him that Zandi was fighting with her boyfriend Longwe and Senzo was shot while trying to break up that fight. Mshololo then asked him, did you have any encounter with this witness during your investigation? Gininda said yes. But let's start from here. The investigating team before me found no basis. So now he's passing the baton to the previous investigation team before him for discrediting Mr. Hlophe's statement.
Why pass? Why buya futhi uzoyiskorela yena ikhona? Don't worry, it's coming back to him.
He said it's contained in the diary. I was asked to go inform
He's justifying his finding that are coming. Don't worry. He's just coming back. That is not to throw anyone, but it's just to create a certain narrative that two people found the same thing.
He said, I was asked to go and inform the family that they would be updated on the case, and that's when the Meyiwa family raised this issue of Edward Hlophe. They wanted to know why it was so difficult to solve this case when Hlophe had received the information from Madlala. We then asked to meet Mr. Hlophe, and he gave us a statement that was taken by Captain Mabuti. This is the statement that was alleged to have gone missing. When we tried to speak to Mr. Madlala, he did not trust us, and we had to go through Mudise, who was the lead investigator in this matter at the time. Madlala refuted what was said there. Then Mshololo asked him, when you confronted Mr. Mlungisi Edward Hlophe regarding the statement that he did say, did he confirm, did he deny, did he change the statement? What was the position? And Gininda said, no, my lord, I don't think we understand each other here. I did not confront Mr. Hlophe with any statement.
Confronted him with what?
With what he had the Meyiwa family tell him.
Yes.
But at the time, he was not even a lead investigator.
Yeah, no, I understand that. And
he was supposed to go back, was he not? After he became the lead investigator. And talk to Mr. Hlophe as the lead investigator now of the case. He did not do that. He ran with what he was doing under the instruction of the other lead investigator prior to him becoming the lead investigator. He just left it. He was not even interested as the lead investigator in that version. He had already made up his mind. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So he said that he did not confront Mr. Hlophe with any statement when he was sent by the divisional commissioner at the time. This matter was not seized with me. I was not aware of the statement that was made to Captain Tetwa at the time. It was already in the docket, but I was not aware of it because I was in possession of the docket when I got to the Meyiwa family. So he says he wasn't in possession of the docket when he went to the Meyiwa family, right? And then he said, when I got to the Meyiwa family, they then brought the information to us to say that we understand the national commissioner and the divisional commissioner, and the national commissioner will come and give us an update. But here's a piece of information that we have that can assist in solving the case, and we don't understand why this case is not solved. Can you imagine this was around the time that Senzo Meyiwa was still alive? Out of that information, the name of Mr. Hlophe got mentioned as the one who spoke with Mr. Madlala. We followed that. I did not have the statement. I did not have the docket. So we followed that. This is the part where I said we did not dismiss things, we investigate. So that exercise was to investigate the allegation that the family was saying. And indeed, we get to Mr. Hlophe. He confirms to us to say he received a phone call from Mr. Madlala, who says the deceased was shot by mistake. My colleague, Captain Mabuti, took the statement to that effect, which I said was never displaced. It was in the docket. But eventually, when we get to Mr. Madlala, remember, he was not there. It's a hearsay. Mr. Madlala refuted it. Then fast-tracking to the period when I took over as the investigating officer or the lead investigating officer. When I engaged Mr. Madlala again, he refuted that was not true what was said, my lord. So he did not speak to Mr. Hlophe. He went straight to Mr. Madlala to get him to write a new statement refuting those allegations. He just didn't care for what Mr. Hlophe had to say anymore. So he said that he did not confront Mr. Hlophe with a statement. So the judge asked if Mr. Madlala testified and that he was neither confronted by Mr. Mgomezulu, Mr. Ramasipil, and Mr. Mnisi or Mr. Nxumalo. The defense counsel said that they did, and Mr. Madlala denied it. Then Baloyi said
that is a proof that is not listening to the defense.
Baloyi then said that he refuted.
If it was Baloyi, he would have said, yeah,
I remember.
Remember evidence.
I remember evidence. I remember. Baloyi said that he refuted the statement in the 375 docket, not this particular one. So there was an issue around the time that Dumelo testified. They used the 375 one, and Ramasipili even reminded the court that the statement also had issues because it was not properly commissioned. So they ended up not using it. Do you remember that? It wasn't properly commissioned, and it was a crucial. In fact, I think we were even upset at the time.
Yeah.
Can't they know there's more? I think they made him write more than a lot. I think it's 5. He said he had written about 5 statements over the years since 2014 with different types of police investigators.
Home affairs tendencies.
He said there are several ones in 636. Now the judge wanted to know which ones, and Mshololo said that she used the 636 one. And Gininda said that he was not there for 375. The judge told, I don't know who he was telling, whether it was Advocate Baloyi or somebody else. He just said just right there that he was confronted with 375, the other docket, which is not an issue here. Subliminally, saying that he will not be working with 375. In my opinion, that's how I read it, that he doesn't care for 375 pieces of evidence. He won't entertain them. He doesn't want them. But then, since Maumela admitted them and said they can be used, does it mean that this judge is saying he will not use what Maumela had ruled on?
No, de novo means we start afresh. So it's up to him.
So it means he's already taken a stance. He will not be using 375 stuff. He will dismiss it.
Because then why did we de novo if that was the case? Part of I've got this feeling that I cannot shake off of why Maumela maybe find himself out of this case, perhaps by partially accepting some of the 375, in my opinion. It's just an allegation. I'm not saying it's a fact, but it just seems as if that 375 was hard fought for. And now you find Baloyi now and then referring to it as something of the past in this court. You ask yourself, okay.
And now this judge is making it clear that he will not be using 375 stuff. He's just made it clear on record. If you guys missed it, 375 documents he's not going to be using.
He wanted to take that stance to say that why would you ask a question that is coming from 375?
Yes.
Only to find that Mshololo was using 636.
636 one. It seems like, yes, that's the stance right there. So the judge now questioned Mr. Hlope's statement after the long adjournment, asking if he was aware that since he's saying a witness was fighting who, Senzo was shot here. I don't know where he was pointing. The cameraman fell asleep today, and I'm so pissed. He was pointing somewhere, communicating to Mshololo while the camera was still facing Mshololo. I'm like, why are you not turning it to the judge? We want to see where he's pointing. Where is he pointing?
Did you get why he was asking that question?
No. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on? Why are you talking about...
This is after Mshololo, before the break, kept on insisting that he's going to bring Hlope in.
Yes.
And then the judge says,
are you aware?
No, I'm just asking Mshololo of the other evidence, Judge. Yeah, for instance, you know, it's okay. He was basically saying, okay, it's okay. I'm trying to update my thing here. Refusing to.
Well, he said sometimes you call the witness, fine. But is this witness aware of how the deceased died?
Why would you ask that question?
Does it matter, Judge? Why? Because Hlophe was not there. Mr. Hlophe was not there. What he will be testifying about is what he was told on a phone call by one of the people that were in the house immediately after the incident happened. So he did not see how Senzo got shot, where he got. He has no business in that part of evidence. He was not there.
Yes. So this is to scare him, in my opinion, not to talk about some of the stuff that were in that statement. That was a warning shot. And then from there was a rain of objections. Right?
Yes, from Advocate Balo, yes.
And Balo even bringing what Msholo did not read on the statement.
Yes.
You know,
about Ivan Khoza.
Yes. Bringing the other part that now necessitated Ivan Khoza. The hearsay
he calls it triple hearsay.
Yes.
He's the one who brought it, by the way.
Objecting on what he read.
On what he brought
on record. Msholo did not read. I wanted to know
No.
what is the stance of this so-called law when it comes to that. You don't read everything. You read that portion, but someone objects on the basis of the whole statement.
Yes.
As if you have read the whole statement.
I hadn't even noticed.
So he was
so smart.
I
didn't even pick it up. And I'm picking it up now. But actually, Ivan Khoza was brought up by Baloyi.
Yes.
I'm sure that didn't go there.
I mean, you read this thing. This guy is asking, is he aware
of how the deceased
was shot here? The fact. And then he goes further to say, because then Steenkamp is where he's saying, Steenkamp, the pathologist.
Yes, the pathologist with 40
years experience. Because really, unless he wants to say Steenkamp is wrong, the pathologist with 40 years experience. If you try to interpret and get into that, where is that going? Where is Hlophe saying Senzo was not shot? Where is Hlophe saying Senzo was not shot by the people who were... Where was he going? This, in my opinion, if you read it, if you just try to understand that part, this man is literally saying that that pathologist said he was shot by the people who were intruders.
Yes.
And this does not even... He was just asking because he wanted to stop everything.
Yes. And
in a sense, he's saying that, Hlophe, before you come, you are a useless witness.
Intimidation of some sort.
That's what in my opinion I'm reading. He's saying, don't come here. You're gonna be telling us stories. You are a useless witness.
It's getting him in advance before he even takes the stand. And then when we keep saying and telling some of the people who just refuse to accept the situation for what it is,
and then
no.
And then after that, he starts saying, okay. You know, when he's being probed about that, Msholo then answers and says, okay, my lord, I will specifically ask him about paragraph 3.
We're talking about Longwe.
And then this was a warning shot, in a sense, for me to Baloyi. Hey, stand up, object. And because from there, after that argument, and then there was objections after objection. Because he's putting a theory that he had from Tomi.
You know, another thing I kept asking myself is, why is this judge creating the impression that Hlophe testified as to how Senzo was shot? As far as I recall, the state also prohibited Dr. Steenkamp from testifying and placing it on record what his conclusion of what happened.
Yeah, he was denied. He was denied that privilege of freely saying what he needed to say.
Yes.
He was confined into the certain portion, and then the other one was said to be a ballistic part.
Yes, it was said to be a ballistic part. They stopped him from putting it on record what his findings were, per se, to say that from my investigation and my pathology report, this is what I believe happened to the deceased. They stopped him from going there. And now the judge is speaking as if Dr. Steenkamp was allowed the opportunity to do that, and Dr. Steenkamp came to the conclusion that it could not have been people in the house that shot Senzo, it was the intruder. And
exactly.
He was not given that opportunity. You understand?
Exactly.
And also, you know,
I think the trigger word there from that statement of Hlophe is short Senzo dead. He died
on the scene,
and that's where the judge has a problem.
So he still wants to create the impression that he died at the hospital, like how the people in the house are painting.
Well, he's not creating it. That's what people in the house are saying.
But why is he choosing to believe them over?
Not the other theory.
Yeah. Why is he already taking a stance to believe the people who are in the house?
What is fun about it is that you can even debunk it. If you use Steenkamp.
Yes, Steenkamp.
He said that person could not have lived more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes is even stretching it. Right?
Yes.
If he was strong and fit, yes, maybe. But they did not take 10 minutes to move that body.
No. And they didn't take 10 minutes to reach the hospital.
No. So it just does not make sense, the level of thinking of this judge. But do you see now why Steenkamp had to be confined into answering some of the questions? It was to cause that confusion that is currently happening now, in my opinion.
You know, it's kind of scary to me to see him running with it, and even I just wish sometimes he would keep quiet, but I don't know, like it's scary to see a judge act like that.
I've never seen
it.
Such.
Is like
this is my first time. I won't lie. This is the first time.
Now I understand why people are terrified of courts. I get it now. I will not be judging people who refuse to be witnesses anymore. It is tough. Can you imagine? You are thinking, I'm going there for justice, and a judge is busy doing this. Oh my God.
Changing everything you say.
Nka screama. Corey, you are having a spirit of defeat. Because your faith is on justice will prevail in this court.
Forget about that. Let's continue.
Then also another thing I had a problem with is that, so does this mean that there was a fight? And if the way, there is no way that Senzo would have been shot at the chest, because the intruders are the ones who had probably shot him in the chest. Like, I don't understand where he was going with this question. Because are you saying that because, there was a scuffle, there's no way he would have been shot in the chest? Are you saying that the people in the house, there's no way they would have shot him in the... I didn't get the substance of that question, and what is he trying to insinuate, And Mr. Anonymous, you are right. It does feel like it's intimidation to the highest level. It seems that he's trying to scare Mr. Hlophe off from coming to court and testifying and giving his version, in my opinion. So I don't understand where this was going, honestly speaking. If I was Mr. Hlophe, I'd be like, what is going on? So Mshololo said that he will be specifically asking as to what Tumelo told him, that Zandi had a fight with her boyfriend and Senzo tried to separate them, and accidentally the shot went off and Senzo got shot and died. So Mshololo asked about the second statement that was taken in his presence of Mr. Hlophe, and Gininda said that he did not change what was on the statement before. It was written on the 27th of October 2016. Captain Mabuti obtained the statement. Gininda was present, and Mshololo asked what Gininda read, that Gininda read Hlophe's statement that was taken by Mabuti. In the statement, Hlophe says that Tumelo had a confession with him through the telephone, and he told him that Senzo was shot by mistake while trying to break up a fight between Zandi and Longwe. It also says that Senzo Meyiwa told him that Madlala received a lot of money after the death of Senzo Meyiwa, and even Tumelo's friends, they are telling us that Tumelo is getting money from somebody. The family believes that he's being funded by somebody who was involved in the shooting of Senzo, but he was only working on a contemporary basis. And what he wanted the police to check was Tumelo's account just after the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. Mr. Hlophe said he gave all his cell phone numbers to check his talks with Tumelo and other people. They don't trust Tumelo because he is the one that was supposed to give the family a full information, and not to say Meyiwa was killed by two criminals, and they don't take his story. They also don't trust the Khumalo family, as they did not tell the truth about the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Mshololo asked if Gininda obtained a statement from Senzo Meyiwa, and Gininda said no. Mr. Senzo Meyiwa's statement was already obtained. It was already in the docket. When he took this one, he was not aware, but subsequently the statement is in the docket and he just didn't know the index number. But the statement is in the docket and is contained in the docket 636. That statement was already obtained according to Brigadier Gininda. So Advocate Mshololo asked that Mlungisi Hlophe's statement be provisionally handed up until he comes to testify. If the state does not call him, then the defense will call him. And then there was a break there a bit where the media was asking to adjust the light as it was making Advocate Mshololo uncomfortable. But then the judge took that statement that Advocate Mshololo was asking for it to be provisioned of Mr. Hlophe from 636, the docket. The judge was looking at that statement with keen interest, and it's for the first time that I've seen him, when the defense hands up something, a piece of information, that he was that interested in it. He was looking at it. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to make of it, but if I were to speculate, I don't know. It seemed like he was looking for something. I don't know. That's my opinion. I'm not going to say more. Okay? And before, he's never been this interested on anything that the defense presents. In fact, he's impatient and whatnot, but that statement, all I'm going to say is that he was looking at it. Gininda still insisted on his version that they were intruders. Then Advocate Baloyi said that the statement where Hlophe also said that he heard from Senzo Meyiwa that Ivan Khoza told him that they are hearing on TV, or what they are hearing on TV was not true, does not only contain double hearsay, but also contains triple hearsay and should not be accepted. So Advocate Baloyi did not want the entire statement to be accepted based on one sentence, based on triple hearsay. What he considered triple hearsay was Senzo Meyiwa was telling Mr. Hlophe that he heard from Ivan Khoza that what they were hearing on the TV around the time his brother passed away was not true. One of the people in the house is the one that shot Senzo. So he said it's because Mr. Hlophe heard from Senzo Meyiwa, who heard from Mr. Ivan Khoza, and he said that they're in possession of the statement of Ivan Khoza, who refutes these claims. So Mr. Ivan Khoza, it seems he has made a statement, and Advocate Baloyi is in possession of it, where Mr. Ivan Khoza is refuting the claims that Senzo Meyiwa is making, that he told him that what had happened, or the version that they were they were hearing about intruders was not true. So yeah, now we are told that he has denied what Senzo Meyiwa alleged in a statement. And all I can say is Mshololo said that the defense will call Senzo Meyiwa the brother of Senzo Meyiwa, and Baloyi said that it will still be hearsay. So Advocate Baloyi asked if they are also going to call Ivan Khoza, and Mshololo said it will be considered after Senzo Meyiwa has testified, because at this point she has not even testified with Senzo. She hasn't even sat down with Senzo Meyiwa yet. Then if at the end it comes that it's hearsay evidence and it has no proof, then she will ask that the portion of evidence be expunged. No, Mshololo, you did not introduce this. It was Baloyi. I don't know how he does it. She was not supposed to take ownership of this. She was supposed to just say, I did not introduce this part of evidence. I don't know.
No, you don't get the objection, Baloyi. His objection, as much as he's the one who introduced the other part of the statement, is that the statement
overall in its entirety
must be
expunged,
put on record. And then, because of that, therefore he objects that there is that part of hearsay evidence, and that part constitutes that statement, or it renders that statement as inadmissible statement.
So if he were to make a new statement, where would he need to make that statement? With Brigadier Gininda?
Anyway, anyone can commission it for him.
Okay.
Right, that's where the gist of. But did you hear Gininda when he was explaining? But my lord, I need to one needs to take this into account, that the other previous investigating team confronted Madlala, and I confronted Madlala, and he refuted what is contained in this statement. Now I'm referring to me, not the previous investigator. It is prudent to take note of the evidence in a docket indicating that there were intruders. The docket is based on the facts that they were obtained, and there were neighbors, people in the house who corroborated the story. And there is foreign DNA that we dealt with, my lord.
My lord.
Foreign DNA with regions. As much as it is not inconclusive, but it is also not, as much as it is not inclusive, it is also not exclusive. I dealt with this part, and the DNA linked some of the accused and correlated the exhibit HH and JJ in terms of what went on in that house. And my lord, the issue of DNA is objective evidence. It is not something where she says and he said. You rely on the objective factors that indicates that there were intruders. As much as Shope said that in the purpose of investigation, you cannot sugarcoat or be selective. I need to say the evidence or bring the evidence as it is. It contradicts, unfortunately, the evidence that was given by Shope. Bashing Shope here. When I say unfortunate, my lord. Furthermore, when I say unfortunate, my lord, it seems to be pointing to the people inside the house. He seems to be pointing at people inside their house. You know, that's his Shope Njalo. Mr. Shope seems to be pointing people who are inside the house and the perpetrators. I'm saying, unfortunately, the evidence points at the perpetrators. And this is when Mshololo was quiet for long. The supporting statement was obtained, and then there was a long story. But do you see how he's feeding the court? And the court is eating nicely. And this is like a paragraph of explanation.
Now I see all of that. But how are they going to really reason this when it comes across the tables of other judges? And they're like,
if it is going there on the basis of finances,
how is that? How did this happen?
if it is going there, but
because Bona, they are refusing to get out of the Dilulu. Because now DNA evidence
is
coming
inclusive,
from swabs
is not exclusive
is
and is
now
not inclusive, according to them. Yet the person who came to testify about it, he said it excludes.
I don't know what the plan is when it goes for appeal, because other judges sitting there, they'll be like,
what the hell was this? What were you guys doing in that court?
what nonsense is this?
Kangaroo court. Press the like button and let's have 2 minutes calls, just as quick as we can, so that we can also.
As we wait for the call, the judge
Rest.
asked when was Mgomezulu going to come and cross-examine. And then Baloi, he preempted the first quarter next year. The term had already ended and they'd be left with 4 days, and they requested to sit an extra week to catch up. Advocate Mishalala will still be busy for a day or so, according to Advocate Baloi, and he said that they had not heard anything from Gomezulu. So Ramasipili said that he checked on him, or he checks on him on every Monday morning, and unfortunately this morning he could not get a hold of him. Numala said that he tried to call him last week, his phone was off, and then the judge said that he had sources.
Saying the guy that is sitting in front of him.
He was here today, and he was referring to the court. He called one of the court officials who said that he saw him and he did not want to testify.
Look, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I think maybe Mgomezulu could probably be working now. That's my thinking. I'm not saying that's the case. But by being absent in court is sort of minimizing the cost for accused number one, in my opinion. Yes, he was sick. But maybe he's better now. Maybe he's doing other stuff. But I like how the defense refuted that and came into aid of Mgomezulu. Because in all honesty, we know that one who's going to be suffering the most by the dragging of this case is accused number one. Yes.
Not getting paid by legal aid. They wanted him to not change lawyers and Mgomezulu, and as a result, they said they're not going to fund him if he chooses Mgomezulu, and now we are here.
Yebo. So, siyayivala njalo ke. Bafowethu siyabonga. Thank you very much, Nthozi Silanga, for reminding people to like. As I remind them, please also press that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Sizwe 18, thank you for being ever so present. Laura, thank you, our member. We appreciate you. Cindy C. Thank you very much. Busani Sibanda, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Dan, we appreciate you. Let me see. Who am I missing here? Just gonna go through members first. Yes. Yeah, that's basically it from my side, Amen. I appreciate everyone who's here.
Thank you, guys.
That's Ultra. Thank you. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
She's the one who's here. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
We're good, and you?
Oh, I'm all right. Thank you very much. Excellent work once again.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit confused about, I think, the latter matter that you just mentioned. The judge asking that, I don't know what is the position of the person that sits next to him, whether it's a secretary or whatever it could be, whatever he could be, the man, that go take an oath there
Yeah.
And probably to have to then tell the court that, yes, indeed, I saw Mngomezulu today in court. Let's hypothesize it is the case. Then what? What is the effect from a legal perspective of what is happening as to whether he's still under the doctor's sick note or he's busy with something else? Why is the judge interested into whether Mngomezulu could have been in court yesterday morning? How does it impact the proceedings of the case? Just to discredit the man. That maybe he's not being loyal, he's dishonest to the court to say he's sick, yet you can see him coming to the court. What was the point of proving that? Because whenever that he's going to have to come, if he will be fit enough as to whether he will be or not, why does it matter as to when he's going to start and was he at court in the morning or not? This is a daylight one, this one.
Yeah.
Good clear this court in a narrative that it is supporting Gule case and start discrediting the defense. And they know Mngomezulu promised them before he got sick to say, I will only know if we are told lies or not once I cross-examine Gininda. And luckily he's going to be the last one. I hope he fries him. He must never leave any stone unturned. And then a fail in Alama exam asase bewabhala kuphi bafethu lo msebenzi enwenzayo ugrand, like keep it up.
Thank you.
I wish you could be there all the time. Isn't just ifundile out of what you presenting ngangisiya umuntu omthetho, but nale case ukuthi televised kanje, there is a lot that we learning out of it on its own, and then you guys come back after siyibhekile uthola ukunya ukunakile yabo. And then you guys come back and break it down. Opinions of other people. There are people that sound like they are lawyers when they call your show.
Yes.
And you're just like, oh, okay, there could be something like this as well. And you go to Google, read a bit, and indeed, it is there. Thus, each judge keeps on coming back in a state to correct themselves. They watch this show themselves. It's a lie that they don't. They do. And they are realizing all the mistakes that they have committed. Now they must cover up. It's a bit too late. Keep up the good work. And ngoba ngeke wazi phela la emhlabeni kungcolile. Nibe safe nje as well, you know. That is very, very important. Because there are pointers that you guys bring up, which are quite serious. And we can ignore them because it's amanyama intentions. But you guys are doing really well. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Injalo indaba. Basho njalo bathi injalo indaba. Kodwa ke we deal with the public space stuff. We don't deal with the secrets.
Exclusive.
No. Mzansi, hello.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Mzansi, hello.
I have
Hello.
Hi.
a call.
Yeah, how are you?
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to talk about the dockets.
Yes.
The docket is 3 parts. There's part A, B, and C.
Yes.
So part A contains the statements.
Yes.
Or the witness statements. If you notice, when the statements are being taken out from the docket, they are numbered starting with A.
Yes.
So before they are given new exhibit numbers for when they are admitted.
Yes.
Yeah, and then part B contains the I think among other things you get your experts findings like your expert reports, ballistic experts, DNA, and so on.
Mm.
And then part C contains the diary.
Yeah.
So the diary, it's like it documents what transpired in the investigation.
Okay.
And all the decisions that were taken, like things like the decisions taken by the DPP and so on. So that part is not supposed to be disclosed to the defense according to there was a case I think in the Constitutional Court.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that rule that part should not be disclosed to the defense. That is what the issue was there.
Oh.
It's not a personal diary of the IO.
Mm.
It's actually part C of the docket.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the Absalom statement, that statement was admitted last year when Ramsipile read it and used it to cross-examine Uzungu.
Mm.
So it cannot be. So that is why Ramsipile said he's going to call Absalom and Pegisen.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
No.
And then lastly, on the issue of Zungu, I think Zungu's problems are not yet over because he may be prosecuted privately if the NPA or if the police don't do anything.
Yeah.
Because his statement is evidence enough that he witnessed the commission of crime and he did not do anything.
Mm.
And because if Gininda says then he came in 2023.
Yes.
I mean, his father was already, he had already given them the information. So his information was not as useful as, it wasn't as useful as we would like to believe, because if what he's saying was true, that is, because I don't believe that what he said was true, considering that he talks about Kwabini shooting Sinako, something that happened in 2017, not 2014.
Yeah.
So he may be prosecuted privately for dereliction of duty and so on. So that will harm him a lot, because then he will have to look for his own lawyer to defend him.
Yeah.
So he will have to pay him through his own pocket.
Mm.
And nobody will be there to assist him.
Eesh.
It's not like a 204 witness.
Yeah.
The one who is accused and decides to turn against the other accused and become a state witness in exchange for a lighter sentence.
Oh yeah.
Like what they wanted to do with Untanzi. They wanted Untanzi. They agreed to that so that he gets a lighter sentence and then become a state witness.
Mm.
Yeah, so that is what affected them now. And in my own view, or allegedly, as you normally say,
yes,
I think all these statements that Gininda is referring to, the Marcos Sonke, the Kwabini, and this one who passed away, Simpiwe.
Yes.
I think all those statements that were commissioned by Gininda.
Yes.
I think they were never written by these guys. So they were written by Gininda himself. So that is why these guys cannot be called, because the state is afraid that they might actually harm their own case rather than assisting them.
Yes.
Yeah, so Gininda is trying very hard to refer to those statements, but then the defense is not falling into that trap, because once they use them, then they will be admitted without the deponents testifying. Then the pattern will be on the defense to actually call them.
Yes.
So that is what they've been trying throughout Gininda's testimony.
Eish.
But the defense obviously is aware of that. So that is why even Nomad was asking him, that is it. Are you talking of Kwabene who hasn't testified before this court?
Yes.
I was trying to tell Gininda that no, we know your trick. We went for it. Yeah, so that is what has been happening. Otherwise, those statements will never be admitted as long as the defense does not do anything.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then when they do their arguments, they will just say, no, the state referred to these statements. If these statements, these people were actually very key to proving their case, then why didn't they call him? They didn't call him because they knew that these people might harm their own case. Because those statements were never written by the people that were attributed to them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much that's the best contribution.
All right, thanks. Good morning.
Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
Thank you. That was the best contribution yet.
Guys, because of emergency. Thank you very much for your contribution, all of you. Please like the video, press that like button on your way out. If you are finishing, it's still, obviously you would not hear this, but please press that like button. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.